Hello, I'm Marilyn Chase, your state senator from the 32nd Legislative District. With the debate on marriage equality winding down, the debate on how we go about tackling our budget shortfall will be ratcheting up. As we move forward on what could prove to be a more contentious issue than the marriage debate, we must ask ourselves, are we going to take the easy way out and do what we've done since the start of the Great Recession and simply cut programs until the state is back in the black? Or are we going to get creative? This is an opportunity to rebuild the taxpayers' general fund to meet our constitutionally mandated responsibilities, to require a net benefit to the state in order to receive a tax expenditure, and to hire Washington state workers rather than import a workforce, or to manufacture products here in Washington and to export those products around the world and around the nation, bringing home the cash to circulate in the economy. The earnings of the economic base are what allow us to consume products, durable goods such as cars, appliances, clothing, that generate sales and B&O taxes. Dollars earned by employees working in industries that make up the economic base circulate within the state to create more jobs in an expanding service sector. Economic recovery depends upon the consumption of our taxpayers. The driving forces for recovery of the taxpayers' general fund are consumption by shoppers and brick-and-mortar businesses on Main Street paying B&O taxes. For those of us who have tried to imagine the world with no possessions, this might be a difficult idea to accept. But it is the only way we currently have to generate revenue for the taxpayers' general fund. For the last 3 years, we have followed a different strategy. Are we going to write a budget that will again place the state on sound financial footing by diversifying the way we collect revenues and fund programs for the neediest among us? The last 3 years, we have done the opposite. It doesn't take a lot of imagination to kick people out of basic health, slash programs for the elderly, and not live up to our end of the bargain on education. Over the past 3 years, we have cut more than $10 billion from our operating budget. Where are the jobs? Wasn't that supposed to spur economic recovery? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. After 3 years of doing the same thing, it is clear that cuts alone are not the answer to our problem. Our operating budget for the 2011-2013 biennium is $32.2 billion. Of that money, $21.2 billion is money that is constitutionally dedicated towards things like education, corrections, and health care. $3.1 billion more is already dedicated largely toward other education programs. That leaves a total of $7.9 billion from which to cut $1.5 billion. That $7.9 billion funds programs for education, low-income health care, mental health, corrections, the developmentally disabled, and other programs that have already been hard hit. It is unfair and will actually end up costing us more in the long run if we continue to ask more and more of those that can least afford it. Raising new revenue in any form will not be an easy task. Tim Eyman's Initiative 1053 requires a 2/3 majority of both House and Senate to approve any sort of tax increase or loophole closure. There are still those that are convinced that a slash-and-burn approach to budgeting will eventually lead to a turnaround of our economic fortunes. If the obvious lack of success in that approach hasn't convinced them of the flaw in that ideology by now, they probably never will come around. But there is a growing chorus of others who have begun to realize that the all cuts method simply doesn't work. A lot of that is due to the fact that there has yet to be any evidence of success from the continued assault on the safety net. And a lot of it is due to the hardworking people who have been forced to make do with the results of all cuts budgets. People from all walks of life have made their presence felt here in Olympia. Advocates for education, mental health, and our seniors, and every other service that has fallen victim to cuts have voiced their displeasure with this approach. Still others have joined the Occupy movement in towns and cities all across our country and state, and their voices are being heard loud and clear in the halls of our Capitol building. That's what democracy looks like. We have some very tough choices and battles ahead of us. I was encouraged by the cordial manner in which the debate over marriage equality played out in both the House and Senate. My hope is that we will apply a similar tact to the debate over the budget and, like the marriage debate, will come out with a result that we can be proud of. We owe it to the people who have been forced to sacrifice the most because of the recession and resulting all cuts budgets. It is time for us to get creative for them. That's all for this week. Let me know what you think. As always, please contact me with any questions, comments, or concerns. My information is at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching.